This little sword is your traditional old-fashioned two-handed sword. Its made primarily purpose is to crush armor, and tends to be a little slow, and for most people it tends to be a little heavy. It's not necessarily a heavy sword as such, it's only 8 pounds. But by spreading the weight over, it actually, if you pick up a 5-pound bag of flour and hold it out like this, it gets heavy very, very fast. This was very much used during the Crusades. A two-handed sword generally was used against horsemen rather than by foot soldiers. As the heavy swords got better, so did the armor. And the armor got to the point where it could withstand a blow from an axe or a sword. So, of course, the sword makers had an answer to it. They developed a lighter sword. Something like this could be used actually to go into the crevices of the armor, rather than the armor itself. Which very promptly led to the development, what I called, of the fact that wimps found out that they could use swords. And that's where the cord sword came in. All the wimps in court that didn't have enough of a strength to be a knight could use a sword, and there was a particular sword that was specially developed. The rapier. Very flexible, very light, pinpoint accuracy. It had a very good purpose, and the wimps all of a sudden became somebody. And my statement has been for years, there is no such thing as heavy weapons. There are weak people. But sometimes they break. We test these at a flex of at least 90 degrees. And after they have been used for quite a while, you can see it came back in 2 pieces. This sword, to the best of my knowledge, had over 1,000 hours of stage work. And they don't baby them. This was used by Henry's feast in Florida. They put on 3 or 4 shows a day, and we replace about 1 or 2 swords a year for them. But as you can see, they are meant for real stage work. Yeah. And of course we do smaller versions of costume daggers. And I have some here that are not quite finished, but this is a smaller version of a dagger. And then we have what we call a lady's dagger. And again, it's not quite finished yet, but it is a very nice ladies' dagger because they generally wear it in their bosom. We generally forge parts of the steel, grind a lot. One of the statements that I have made many times is that we take perfectly good steel and turn it into dust. We remove about 20% of the steel with belt sanders, grinders, whatever we can get our hands on that's fast enough to remove. Some of it we forge. Of course, besides that is polishing. Polishing always takes a lot of time. It's probably one of the more time-consuming aspects, and for our standard line itself, we don't polish very high. Because the object of it is that if you're going to be called on a part to use it, and it requires dropping the sword, you don't have to worry where it fell. if it's a highly polished, well, you don't want to drop it on the ground. It will get scratched. We try to do, what I claim is I try to use the best possible process to get the best possible product out at the cheapest possible price. Imports is where our competition is, and this product was actually designed to compete with imports rather than with the American market. I have been told by people that sell exclusively imported that we do better than they do. They generally can't sell if we are there, which to me is a very, very high compliment. My statement has been for years, there is no such thing as heavy weapons. There are weak people.